arm or lost arm and so forth, and what counts above all is to pray and to do it properly with the tefillin. So if it's a cybernetic arm or your own arm in the flesh, that's a small detail. But I don't know yet the results of this particular seminar, but it gives you an idea. The second one is the most, and we can have a debate about this, it's called modesty glasses. They have been invented for the ultra-orthodox. What are they? They are a special cover plastic film that you put on your glasses, which allow you to see 3 meters so that you don't kill yourself as you cross the street, but everything else is blurred. Which means that if you're an ultra-orthodox man, you're not going to see a woman wearing shorts in some horrible sight, or a man and a woman who are not married to each other kissing in the street. You remove them from your view entirely, blurred. Now, when I read about this, it happened, I think, in August that they produced these modesty glasses. I told myself, how magnificent. We should buy 1 million of them and send them to the Taliban. Because rather than killing girls who want to go to school, you put on your modesty glasses, you don't see them, and let them go to school, and you continue your own ultra life. It seems to me like the ultimate. At which point, when I mentioned this the other week, I was given a reaction saying, do you realize what's happened to the Jewish people that you're comparing them favorably to the Taliban? What's happened to the universal meaning, the, Aufklärung, the people who love Goethe and Schubert, and now we're saying, look how much better off they are compared to the Taliban? And there was this big debate about where are the universal values and how can you compare the Jews, these ultra-Orthodox, to the Taliban. And I said, well, you've got a point there, but in our day and age, I think this is a magnificent lesson, which is also a type of autism. You don't see, you don't look for, you close yourself. At which point, in the debate, people started saying, but maybe these modesty glasses, maybe the entire country is wearing them. And, in reality, it's not just the ultra-Orthodox. And you have a problem here, because you can say, and it's an old Jewish problem, I live my life, and I don't care if you're there or not. And this is what made non-Jews never understand the Jews, because built into the Christian identity is the desire to convert. Go out and bring the word to the others, the heathen. And it's always been considered a notion of superiority, assuming the people of God, that the Jews didn't convert. But maybe, the fact that the Jews didn't convert, simply saying that you also, others who are not Jewish, have their own way to God and so forth. And this is a major issue that is not settled to this day, because the desire to look at Jews again as people who feel superior is so built in that no anti-Semitism exists without referring in some way, shape, or form to that. So these modesty glasses are a symbol in their own right. The third element was recently in the newspapers, at least in the English-speaking world. You know the Geniza? The Geniza of Cairo was, the Geniza is a place where if you are using a prayer, a Torah scroll, and it becomes wet or aged or so forth, you can't just take it and dump it somewhere. You have to store it and then bury it because it is the Word of God. And so in Cairo, for 1,000 years they stored and did not bury. And in the 1880s, this room was discovered. So you can imagine what it means. 1,000 years of Jewish notary acts, Torahs, everything, like petrified, like Pompeii in a sense, except living words. Now there are something like, I think, 300,000 pieces to this thing, and so people are sitting there trying to puzzle things together. But now there's a computer program that is going to be doing it very quickly, and then you have to interpret, but it helps you. So you can say, well, this is no better nor worse than what the Germans are doing with their 16,000 bags of Stasi shredded files. A computer is at work on that also, so that, you're going to get all the documents again. But here there's a difference. The Jewish world isn't just trying to get historical knowledge. There are all sorts of Talmudic debates going on that will rely on what the computer produces when it matches these pieces of paper from one corner to the other. So this is living religion. It's not getting to the whole history of the Stasi by these 16,000 bags that I read about in the... So here is a people and a country, because Israel is one of the incarnations of the Jewish people, who move backward and forward on these, it's no longer, you know, the old Avner with the notion of the rising arrow, you know, moving ever higher into better, more noble, more perfect skin. No, it's not an arrow at all. It goes back and forth. And the optimism can be there, but so can the pessimism. And this new entity that I've been trying to describe in this book is something that I think seems close to us, can be very far from us. We don't know where it's heading, but it's clearly moving into a universe which is really far beyond what most people nowadays, when they think of Israel, they talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the Middle East. And what I was trying to say with this book is that Israel has really moved elsewhere, mentally, culturally, economically, and maybe one has to really follow where it may be going, because it can herald many futures, including our own.